I have a La-Z-Boy rocker recliner on the bench today that is different from the styles I normally see. And those differences affect the chair's pitch and may even contribute to the recliner tip-over problem. The two aspects we'll look at today regarding this chair were not covered in the videos How to Buy the Right Recliner or the Recliner Tip-Over Problem. So you should watch this video along with those other two before you buy your next recliner. Let's get started. This is a La-Z-Boy electric rocker recliner that was made in 2017. This chair has an adjustable lumbar and headrest support. I've only seen this style maybe once or twice before, and this is the first one I've had in my shop for repairs. When I took a look at this chair on the bench here, I noticed something interesting. What caught my eye is this recliner's stance. I noticed that it's sitting back or pitched back more than other rocker recliners. I don't know if you're able to see this on camera, but the back, rather than facing mostly forward, has a definite lean or back tilt, and as a result, it's facing forward and up, pointing towards the ceiling a bit. Let's try a different view. When we look at the profile, it should be more obvious. Here you can see the relaxed or lean back starting point for the chair back. It's not what some would call a completely upright position, but that's how this chair is designed. I've heard from a number of recliner owners who say their chairs are leaning back too far, that they're not sitting upright enough, and for some, they say that's the case even before they open the footrest. For those people, this type of relaxed back position is not going to work. So, take a look at the stance and geometry of the chair before you sit in it. A relaxed back position like this is not for everyone, and that's why it's so important to try furniture out before you buy it. Here's a simple rule for those who want to know if something can be done to make their chair back more upright again. If your recliner used to be more upright than it is now, it may have developed a problem over time that can be repaired. In those cases, yes, you can probably correct that issue. However, if your chair has always leaned back too far, even when new, chances are that's the way the chair is designed, like this one. And that's not something that's easy to change. And of course, there's also the tip-over issue, which we'll cover in a minute. For those of you who may be wondering, I did check to see how the rocker parts were installed on this chair. And it has the typical factory setup and is in what I call the neutral position. And that is, the rocker springs are installed using the center holes on the springs. If the other holes are used, the chair would be pitched either slightly more forward or back, depending on which direction you move the springs. To learn more about this pitch adjustment, see the video Adjusting La-Z-Boy Rocker Recliner Pitch. And while we're on the subject of back tilt and recliner geometry, I've seen changes in recliner seat angles in recent years. What used to be a mostly flat seat is now sometimes angled or sloped. This chair has a sloped seat. All right, let's take a look at this sloped seat. I've got a level on the seat here to show you just how much fall there is from front to back. While this will be more comfortable for some, it may make getting in and out of those chairs more difficult for others. So take note of that while you're shopping as well. Now, let's look at the other aspect that makes this chair different from other recliners. As I mentioned earlier, this style has adjustable lumbar and headrest support built into the back. To give you these features, La-Z-Boy has installed 2 actuator motors and some metal parts that move the lumbar area. That adds weight to the chair back. And to support that extra weight, they made the back frame a little larger as well toward the bottom. The end result is that you have a back frame significantly heavier than a normal recliner back. And that extra weight is pulling back against the rocker springs and the rest of the chair, especially when the chair is fully reclined. So again, that's why it's so important to try these recliners out before you buy them. Not just to see if the chair will tip over, though that is important. The way this chair is designed, I suspect some people will be spending more time staring at the ceiling than they would like. But this recliner does have a feature to help compensate for that a bit. The adjustable headrest, so you can bring your head forward more. Now check out the headrest. Now, this heavier back and relaxed geometry is not exclusive to La-Z-Boy. I remember a customer with an old Lane recliner that had a large rack with moving massage rollers that would roll up and down the entire length of your back when activated. That was the heaviest recliner back I've ever seen. When you installed that back onto the chair, the recliner would visibly lurch backward from all the weight. It was quite a job just to get it on and off. So any recliner that has parts built into the back that adds noticeable weight to that chair will be pitched back more. Wait a minute. Can't manufacturers compensate for these heavier backs? Sure. They can add more weight to the bottom of the chair or decrease how far the back tilts to try to keep everything planted firmly on the floor. But even if they're successful with that, some people will still be spending time staring at the ceiling in these chairs because standard rocker springs are not strong enough to keep these heavy backs as upright. But on the other hand, that may be the position that you find the most comfortable.